Women, if you understand the power you hold over a man when you're submissive, hey, you now go and apologize with your husband. You apologize to your husband with a towel or with wrapper around your chest. And you say, honey, I'm sorry. For what? You should wear, in fact, wear your nightgown, sexy nightgown. And enter the room or wherever. Maybe he's sitting in the parlor watching TV. Go down on your knees in your sexy lingerie. Cover it. Let it not be like you're trying to seduce him with your sexy lingerie, but you're in your nightie. You enter the parlor and you go and kneel down in front of your husband. Honey, I am sorry. I'm sorry for what I did. I did not do it intentionally. You know how my mouth is. I am sorry. I will change. I will change. All right? But do not take this to bed. I don't want you to get angry. And you know some men, they can be so upset and they will not eat your meal. Go and beg him. Men know plenty for outside. Make sure that you're humble enough to apologize. They know they show pride inside marriage. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jane Lawrence and I come with a lot of juicy content. On today's episode, I'm going to be talking about something pretty much important if you are a woman, and not just a woman, a submissive woman. I'm not talking about a subservient woman, okay? There's a difference between being submissive and being subservient. Anyways, let's dive into it, especially when you're having issues in your marriage or you're having issues in your relationship. Guys, listen. Sorry that I touched my hair. I just love it. I love the feel of it. So ladies, I know that in this modern day and age, we have lots of feminists who do not conform to the idea of submitting to a man fully and totally, not taking bullshit from a man. We are proud. We have a bunch of women. I'm also a feminist, okay? But my feminism is not the one that tends to emasculate a man or tends to encourage other women to think that men are supposed to be equals. Because to be honest with you, we're not equal to men, no matter how much you would want to put it or how much you would want to see it. Because by strength, men are more stronger. And I am talking about strong, intellectual, alpha, real men. Men who are dogged in their fields, in their career, in the world out there. Men who know what it entails to be a real man. Men who are on a higher level of themselves. They are on a higher level of their masculinity, not a low vibrational man. We're not talking about low vibrational men who have not yet come to realize that there's so much to being a man other than having sex and abusing women out there. No, we're not talking about those type of men. We're talking about real men. And you all know that when I come on this channel and I talk about men, I am not talking about men from a lower vibrational point of view, all right? I'm talking about real men because I am a woman of standards. I believe that I have built my standard that is not unattainable, because many men cannot even give you the barest minimum. But aside that, my standards are standards that should be above the barest minimum. Like being respectful, being courteous to women, being a great support system to your woman, providing for your woman, all right? Also understanding that your woman is the neck that can actually turn the head to the direction that is good for you, especially if you are married to a good woman. And as we all know from the Bible, the man is the head. And you as a woman, you're the neck. So you basically own the house. Do you get what I mean? Because you have the power to tilt the head towards any direction that you want it to go. If you're dealing with a real man who is secure in his own masculinity and is not threatened by your shine, by your light, he helps you propel you out there into your own future. Do you get what I mean? That's the kind of man I'm talking about. I'm not talking about low vibrational men. No, we're not dealing with that. If you're on this channel, you know that you're already going to be dealing with a high vibrational kind of male gender. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So if you have that sort of man, now you as a woman, you have to do everything in your power to make sure that you're creating balance in your home in such a way that you do not have a misunderstanding that exceeds till the next day. No matter how bad it is, you do not have a misunderstanding that exceeds beyond the next day or exceeds beyond the night, beyond the day that that misunderstanding happened without having to talk about it. You might not come to a conclusion, maybe depending on the gravity of the offense or whatever it is that caused that squabble in that marriage or in that relationship. But then again, you have to open that room for communication to happen. Now, what I do see is that I see and I hear a lot of women allowing quarrels or misunderstanding to exceed the next day. Let's take, for example, you've done something that you know deep down in your heart you offended this man. You said something, because we know women, when a man talks, he talks once. Men don't talk too much. If you ever date a man who talks too much, that's not a real man. A real man don't talk too much. All right? They might just tell you how they feel and, let you ramble or rant about whatever. Some of them will just walk out of that situation because they don't want to be pushed to the wall. But if you do have a man who talks, you as a woman, you know that you talk a lot, and the man doesn't even want to hear you communicate. The man does not even let you drop the word. He has given you two. You gave him one, he's given you two, which ought to be the reverse. Because on a typical day, the woman is the one who talks a lot, who does not even give the man a listening ear. Men, when it comes to argument, don't really talk too much. They just tell you where you got it wrong. And then for the woman, she beats around the bush. Now, listen, what I'm trying to get at is that in a case where you have offended your man, always, 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 always learn to go down on your knees and apologize. It is your home. It is your house. It is your family. So anything that you need to do to make sure that peace reigns in this house, you will do it. When it comes to marriage, right, or when it comes to relationship, a committed relationship, one thing that I have come to realize is that pride will destroy it. 3 things that I think would destroy marriage or relationship faster than anything is money, pride, sex. Those 3 things. So if you're married or you are in a relationship and both of you have pride, especially you as a woman, you have pride in your marriage, you know that you're headed for the wrong ditch. You know that for a fact. Now, I'm not saying that you should always accept all his flaws or you should always apologize even for the things that you did not commit. No, I am saying for the things you've committed and you know deep inside your heart that you committed those things, make sure that you apologize for it. And I know that some women would say, oh, when you apologize once, he doesn't even answer you, he gives you silent treatment. Yes, he will give you silent treatment because number one, that apology, was it really sincere? Except you're dealing with a low vibrational man. Any real man who feels the sincerity of your apology will definitely accept your apology. He may not speak to you after like some hours or so, but trust me, when you both go to bed, he will still talk to you. There is no way. Or maybe he will just wake up in the morning and still talk to you like nothing ever happened. All right? But I am saying that develop a culture where you are submissive enough to apologize for your wrongs. And then when it comes to quarrels, it should not get to a point where your voices are above each other. There is a couple that I once listened to on Instagram, and I think that's what I want to imbibe when I get married. And this is it. Before you get married to this person, you guys must have really had a conversation about how you handle misunderstandings, because you're going to be with a man that is coming from a different background. You're coming from a different background. He's got a different temperament. You've got a different temperament. He is sort of healing from his past, because the truth is that not everyone you eventually end up with might have had that knowledge to deal with their trauma. Everyone is getting into their relationships or their marriages with one level of trauma or the other. Some dormant, some really out there. But you should get to a point where you give room. You have a reservoir for forgiveness. For forgiveness, even in your relationship. I'm not even talking about marriage. Even in your relationship, you should have a reservoir for forgiveness. And I'm not talking to just the women as well, because it takes two to tangle in a marriage or in a relationship. So if one person is trying to make, the relationship work, the other person has to make it work. So if you as a man, you see the effort that she's putting into making this relationship work, it is in your prerogative. It is in your prerogative. Yeah, prerogative. It is in your prerogative to make sure that you're holding your own side of the bargain, which is, if she's willing to make it work, even if she's not willing to make it work, but if both of you are willing to make it work, if my other half, my better half is willing to make it work, I am definitely going to put in the effort, no matter how difficult it is, to make this relationship work. We should come to a point where in whatever relationship we find ourselves, all right? Take, for instance, marriage. You've gotten into the marriage. As long as the man or the woman isn't cheating on you, you're not domestically abused, you're not emotionally abused, right? Because those are a deal breaker for me. He's not cheating on you, he's not abusing you, there is no form of domestic abuse or anything. Listen, there should be no exit door or window for the both of you. So if you have issues, burning issues, you have to sort it out, because it seems as if in this day and age we have people who are eager to get into marriage, for the sake of, oh, I am married, to grab the title, I am now a Mrs. or I am now a Mr. But they don't know, they did not really prepare for the walk ahead when it comes to marriage. When it comes to marriage, I'm talking in terms of marriage. Do you get? Because what we see is that marriage is hard work. Marriage is not courtship. Marriage is not relationship. Because when you're relating with a man, you still have the time to go to your house. When he quarrels with you like this, or when you both have misunderstanding, you have the time, you have the space to just leave, carry your kaya. Maybe you went there for a weekend. You still have that time to carry your kaya and go to your own house and stay. You might not even talk to you. He might be the one chasing after you, or you might be the one even calling afterwards. But bottom line is, okay, there is a misunderstanding, but hey, I don't want to talk to you. I just don't even want to see. I don't want to hear you. And you go to your house and you guys don't see for weeks. But when it comes to marriage, it's a different ballgame altogether, because your partner is right there in front of you. You would likely sleep on the same bed with him. So how do you handle conflict in your home? Tells, how long that relationship is going to last, how strong that relationship is going to last, because you can't run away from conflict. It's bound to happen. And every time you overcome your conflict, that's how strongly bonded both of you are, because you've come to the realization of what ticks your partner off, and they also have come to the realization of what gets you ticked off. And they try as much as possible to refrain from giving you that trigger, just as much as you would do for them too. It should start from a relationship. We should always have that heart to forgive, that room to forgive. Let there be a reservoir. The Bible says you should forgive your neighbor 70 times 7. But I think in marriage, it should be 140 times 14. Because it is a lifetime journey, especially for someone like me, who I would love to be in my relationship till the end of time. I did not wait this long to now get married to a man, and after 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the lane, I am breaking up. I have waited this long, and I waited this long because I want to get it right. I'm not saying anybody is perfect out there. Nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not even looking for a perfect person. I'm looking for an imperfect person who I will accept their imperfection, and they also have that big heart, just as I have, to accept my flaws and imperfection. And we find a way to make our union a perfect board, a perfect bond, a perfect home, such that our children come in and they see, they feel the love, they feel the empathy, they feel so much love, you know, that when they themselves grow up, they have that so much love to give out. Because whether you like it or not, we're a bunch of broken adults. And that's why we have men who are abusive, men who play games, men who run away from love when they see love, men who cannot forgive easily, even women as well. Women who don't know how to handle their emotions. Because look, the tantrums, the throwing of tantrums here, the nagging, the inability to handle your emotions in times of chaos. And it's because we did not grow up with so much understanding, so much tutoring from mentors. Our parents should be our mentors, but sadly, most of us came from a broken home. Most of us did not know how to love, how to receive love. And we had to learn the hard way. We had to recondition our lives in such a way that we start to understand what love is, what love should be, and how to accept it, how to receive it, and also how to give it. So for all the single ladies out there who've come from a broken home, broken relationships, you've been turned, broken, beaten by life, by love. Don't give up on love, because love is always out there. All right. Whatever amount of love you've given to someone that has been shredded or treaded upon or trampled upon with disrespect and disregard, always come back to you. It always does. Do you get what I mean? So respect your husband, and husbands, respect your wives. All right. Give them the security that they need: financial security, spiritual security, spiritual, sexual security. Don't, I have come to realize that some men even use finance as a way to emotionally abuse your women. Why women use sexual weapon to emotionally manipulate their husbands. That should never be. It should never be the case at all. Try to create an environment that is non-toxic. We have a lot of toxic people out there, and that's why no matter the amount of love that you have to give to someone, as long as you have that trait of toxicity in you, it will diminish every ounce of love that has been shown to you. It will frustrate any amount of love or effort of love that is being shown to you. As long as you're making an effort to get married, make sure that you take time to heal yourself, heal the trauma that you've been through, so that you'll be better able to receive true love, and you'll be able to give true love too, and build a home, not just for you and your man, but for you, your man, and your kids. Because these kids are the children who would lead the future. And you don't want, bunch of broken men again. The things that our fathers and mothers couldn't teach us, we should be able to learn all by ourselves through the help of God, in order to show our children that we could be a role model for them. Do you understand what I mean? So women, if your husband offends you, all right, tell them how they've offended you without cursing, without calling them names. I know sometimes you women want to slap the hell out of your man to bring senses, but see, hold yourself. Hold yourself. Do not be abusive. Do not raise your hands on your man, and men, do not raise your hands on your women. When you have an argument, try as much as possible not to use curse words. Try as much as possible not to call names. You have arguments, try, no matter how painful it is, try to call them by their names. like their love names. Babes, babe, I don't like this. Babe, you hurt me. I love you, but you hurt me. And I'm so upset that you're not listening to me. And try as much as possible not to shout at the top of your voice because you can hear. Let's learn how to communicate in a way that is respectful, even if it is hurting and difficult. Some of the issues that we go through them because, oh, we don't want to listen. We want to be heard. We don't want to listen to what the other person is saying. Give time. Okay, say how hurt you feel and give him the time and minute to also respond to you. Even if you don't like his response, let him respond to you. And then you can counter his response or you can argue it out, but in a very respectful manner. We should be, everyone who is watching me at this point in time on my channel, we should be a community of people who are not toxic. We should not follow the toxic mentality that maybe counselors out there or people have been able to conjure in order to manipulate people or control people. People are not made to be controlled. You shouldn't control anyone. Give people the liberty to be their authentic self. If you can give them the liberty to be their authentic self, that's when the real love comes. That's where the real respect comes. And from there, you also can figure out how much of a respect they give to you when you allow them freedom to be who they really want to be. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this conversation had a direction because I wanted to talk about, giving respect to your husband, and not carrying a grudge overnight. So when your man offends you or when you offend your man, make sure you apologize. And when you're apologizing, you're not apologizing in, what do they call it? Let me go and bring, just like our what do they call it? Nigeria women do. You go and apologize in towel or you go and apologize in wrapper. Wait, you now go and apologize with your husband. You apologize to your husband with a towel or with wrapper around your chest. And you say, honey, I'm sorry. For what? You should wear, in fact, wear your nightgown, sexy nightgown. And enter the room or wherever. Maybe he's sitting in the parlor watching TV. Go down on your knees in your sexy lingerie. In your sexy lingerie. Cover it. Let it not be like you're trying to seduce him with your sexy lingerie. But you're in your nightie. You enter the parlor and you go and kneel down in front of your husband. Honey, I am sorry. I'm sorry for what I did. I did not do it intentionally. You know how my mouth is. I am sorry. I will change. I will change. All right? But do not take this to bed. I don't want you to get angry. Unless, some men, they can be so upset and they will not eat your meal. Make sure that you prepare the meal. And if you call him and tell him, oh, honey, your food is ready, and he does not answer you, go and kneel down. Go kneel down in front of that man. I don't care if you're even the breadwinner of the house. As long as the man respects you, as long as that man has not cheated on you, as long as that man has not raised his hands to beat you, go and beg him. Men know plenty for outside. I'm telling you, it now seems as if men are the prize. So if you have a good man and you offended him, make sure that you're humble enough to apologize. They know they show pride inside marriage. They know they show pride inside marriage, because good people are not a lot out there. So you go down on your knees and you apologize. Baby, I'm so sorry. Please, Emma Binu, whatever tribe or whatever dialect that you speak to him and tell him, honey, please don't let this food cool. Don't let this food go cold. I put in so much effort and love to prepare this food. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. Your man cannot see you kneel down. You have sprayed perfume. You're smelling good. You're smelling good. You're not smelling anyhow. You go down on your knees and you beg him. And you tell him, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. You kiss his cheek. All right. And then he will say, I don't like it. Don't repeat it again. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, my Oga. I'm sorry, my Lord. I'm sorry. Women, if you understand the power you hold over a man when you're submissive, hey! If you understand that power of subtlety, of real womanhood, you won't be following all these feminists out there who are looking for husbands to marry them. Deep down, they're looking for husbands to marry them, but they don't have. And yet they get offended that you have, and they cannot wait to see you destroy your home. So they bring out evil advice to destroy your home. Listen, humble yourself and treat your man like egg. And men, make sure you treat your wives as egg too. Because let me tell you something, you don't see what's in their DMs. So if you think because the woman is submissive to you, or she doesn't have people out there, I'm sorry for you. Tell your woman to open her DM so that you can see the loads of men who are crushing on her. Don't joke, don't play. Or you would learn the hard way. Okay? All right, then I'll stop here until I catch you tomorrow. Know that I love you. Mwah.